This is Finn. Finn was one of a litter of 13 unwanted puppies. The owner took 7 of the puppies and drowned them in the river. But someone stepped in and saved Finn and the last 5 puppies just in time. For thousands of abused, neglected, and abandoned dogs, there are no second chances. Every single day in New Zealand, dogs are put down. But world-renowned animal behaviourist Mark Vetti wants to prove these dogs are worth saving. Mark and his team of trainers are taking on the toughest cases and retraining them to find these lost causes a whole new purpose. This week, Mark's heard about some hunt-away cross puppies who are lucky to be alive.
You got a dog for me?
I have, maybe. I hope so. This way.
Diane runs the Dog Protection Society in Albany.
And here's our wee puppies.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Come on.
Sweetie, how are you? So 3 girls and a boy, is that?
3 girls and a boy.
Oh, hey. And how many were there originally?
The lady who rescued them said 7 of them had been unfortunately drowned before she got to them.
Oh, really?
And she took 6. It's very upsetting. Yeah, horrible. Just ghastly. Yeah. I just can't imagine it.
Well, let's go and look at one. Let's see what we can choose. I'm sure there's one beauty in there.
The pups are about 14 weeks old now.
Are they adorable?
Yeah, they're adorable.
Can I take them all?
Yes, you may.
Let's go. Well, who's going to be the ambassador for puppies, eh?
Usually Mark takes the most difficult dogs. But at 3 months old, he's getting the chance to take a pup in its most formative period.
I'm just looking at their hypersensitivity at this stage because...
Oh, deep
so you can see the difference. And this one here, the other girls have all disappeared, and this guy straight away is hanging around, not worried about that.
That little bit of confidence is a good sign in a wee pup.
So I just run him through a couple of little tests. So I put pressure on his shoulder, pressure on his groin there, and I just hold him and I look for reactivity, which there's none of.
Exactly.
Which is great. A little bit of resistance there, see her legs there. Doesn't like that so much.
You've got an opportunist in your pocket, yeah?
Yeah, I can see him in there. I feel someone. Hey, he's smart too. He knows where the goods are.
They're all cute as buttons, but their little puppy personalities start to reveal themselves as Mark's watching.
This little girl here hasn't come over to me yet without a lure, so,
yes, you
so
can
she
see
wouldn't
that.
be my first choice.
But the little male pup, Finn, is still poking his nose above the pack.
There's your trainability. Sit. Old Finn's got it all worked out already.
Yes.
Well, that's a tough decision, Di. But I think for me, it's Finn. He seems to have bonded with me best. Hey, so I think it's you, Finn. Hey, I think we can take it. Come here. Hey, what do you think? Hey, oh.
And so Finn gets his lucky break.
You have a lovely life, mister.
The little pup heads back to the farm with Mark, where he'll get a brand new start.
Hello.
Guess what I've got for you?
Puppy?
Isn't he beautiful?
Oh my gosh, you're edible.
What I'd like to do with him is run him through all his puppy basics, you know, so he can show you how to raise a puppy best. So that's your job, okay?
Yep, no problem.
No pressure, Jazz. Creating the perfect puppy is going to keep her busy. And she's learning that straight away.
You let him out of his crate, it's just everywhere, you know,
Yeah.
pea city.
First month is when they learn where to toilet and what surface to toilet on. So you don't want them learning to toilet on lino or wood or anything but grass or garden areas. When I picked them up from Dog Protection, they had them on a big area like this, all lino.
Oh,
And
that
so
explains it.
Yeah, so he's got no surface discrimination, which he should have learnt.
Yeah.
Jazz has moved to crate training now, which is a good idea because what's going to happen now is he's inhibited from soiling in his nest area.
Finn won't want to toilet where he sleeps. Then first thing in the morning, Jazz takes him straight to the grass.
He's learnt now that he's not allowed to toilet on the lino and he has to go to the grass. So he's actually choosing the grass to toilet on now, which is really nice.
Next thing to tackle is that puppy path of destruction.
So he's managed to get to that, and that only took minutes.
Oh, yeah. Look at his teeth now. He's just coming through into his second teeth in the next little while.
Yep.
So by 4 months, he'll have his second teeth. When they're going through this teething phase, they're much more prone to chew because they're actually helping the teeth come through.
Exactly like babies, isn't it?
Exactly like babies. So don't give them things you don't want them to have. These are good where you can fill them with a little bit of meat and let them learn to chew them and play with them. Soft toys should be really a no-no because they're too much like cushions, and shoes are a no-no, and so on. So separation distress is the other thing.
He's actually fine with the other dogs around, but as soon as he's on his own completely, that's when we get a bit of whinging.
So let's leave him with a few of these set up, eh?
Unfortunately, he does have to learn to be on his own, so I have to be hard and just accept the fact that he's learning. He's a baby. Start them for short periods of time and make sure that they can last 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. Don't go back to them and reward them by letting them out when they're vocal. My God, puppy, you make a lot of poos.
But as soon as Jazz gets on top of one problem, there's another one.
So this is the area of destruction out here, is it?
Yeah. Chew and poo. He's got his toys and he's got dog playtime, but it's not always quite enough, and he's teething like any normal puppy, so he's pushed the limits on my pretty little plants over there.
If you reprimand him, he might stop doing it while you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't translate to when you're not there.
It's exactly when he's doing it, is when I'm not around.
Let's do a little bit of a cheat on him, shall we? Let's bait up the frond that he's biting and move away.
Finn thinks the plant is telling him off, which means Finn should stay away from the plant even when Jazz isn't there.
So he's not thinking it's anything to do with me, but if he comes over to me and away from the tree, staying with me is a good thing.
I would love to create the perfect puppy. I mean, there's always going to be some issue that you come across throughout training that sort of makes things a little bit harder. It's like having another baby, so it is hard work. I don't say to everyone, go out and get a puppy, because it is a hard thing to do. You need to be able to commit to it. We're pretty attached, eh?
Finn! Oi, hello, come. Finn, come.
Finn is a little huntaway cross who's landed on his feet.
She's not the only thing in the world.
As a newborn pup, he almost met his end at the bottom of a river. But now he's getting the best possible start in life.
You just couldn't ask for anything better than having the opportunity to have the dog between their 4 to 6 month period. Good.
He's a quick little learner, isn't he? You been happy with him?
Oh, he's fabulous.
So what are we going to do with him?
It's a good question. Finn's only a pup, but Jazz already has her heart set on an idea.
I have hope that Finn is going to become a Disable Assist dog.
Those are high hopes, because Disable Assist dogs need a raft of skills which their owners depend on.
Normally you wouldn't put a dog into this situation until he's a year old, so way early for him.
He's got a lot to offer, and he's at the stage where he can progress and he can learn a lot.
Has he been up the ramp before?
No. He's quite calm, very smart, and he's come along quite quickly. You know, he's learning these things at the drop of a hat, which is not normal.
Yeah, Mum.
He's been brought up in the way we would like all puppies to be brought up, so why not get a family that can benefit from that? Good boy, good. So he can learn all the things they need and offer it to them as a support role.
So we're going to start on a mark? See if we can get him on a mark?
If Finn has any hope as a Disability Assist dog, he'll need to put his paws to good use.
Good. He is quick, isn't he?
So food focused, you know, that there doesn't seem to be any quick association between what he's doing with his paw and what he's focusing on in terms of the reward.
Good.
Good boy.
And once he gets it, you see him click.
Good.
Boy, making your own decisions. Ready? Go on, get it, get it.
The other tool of the trade for a disability dog is his mouth.
To pull a draw, you've got to have a hold. You know, so to have a hold, you've got to have some play drive. You know, so you've got to go backwards and say, this is what I need here. He's got it there, but it's not out in him yet.
It's not strong enough.
He wouldn't be, just looking at him, what I consider a full high-level retriever. You know, it's not just innate in him to rush off and grab something and bring it back.
Good boy! You're a goof.
Yeah, so really get him animated and tugging on that. We want him to grab things, shake them, pull them, retrieve, and get that real drive.
Finn is still so young. Mark and Jazz need time to see if that ability to hold or pull is ever going to develop. But right now, there's a case that needs immediate attention.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Nia. He's lovely and sociable, isn't he?
He's very friendly. No idea that there's anybody out there who wouldn't want to pet him.
Lynn adores Neo, but his frightening behaviour is ruining her life.
If he sees another dog, it's frightening. He belonged to my neighbours and he was chained up outside and he was just at the back all the time.
Did he get to go out and walk and meet other dogs at all?
No, not that I know of.
So what we'll do, Lynn, is we're going to bring a dog round. I'm going to get you to hold the lead. What I'm trying to read is the communication you have with him, and I've got the back line on him to stop him from having a crack at the dog if he does have a crack. OK, Jazz, come on round.
I'd get home from work and I'd be thinking, is it dark yet? Can we go out yet? And then I'd be waiting and waiting. And then finally it'd get dark and we'd sort of go out the driveway and we'd be looking down the road and we'd be watching and making sure nobody was coming. Then we'd be diving across streets, and if we'd see somebody coming, we'd hide around the corner and wait till they'd gone past, and then we'd carry on. And it just got so miserable that I just thought, this isn't fun for him and it's not fun for me.
It's been so frightening, Lynn hasn't walked Neo for 6 months.
Neo's pretty bad. He's got a pretty serious mal-socialisation issue. You know, he'd missed that very critical first 4 months. I'm going to be rewarding him for doing appropriate behaviour, and we're going to be managing the dogs to minimise his hyperarousal so he doesn't go up into that non-learning state, and you'll see a change in his behaviour in a relatively short time. Fingers crossed. So first, just do a head-to-head. Nicely, 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 nicely. So not switching with the food. He's still going back into that baby, so turn him around, Jess. But you notice the difference between rear end and front end presentation.
It's incredible. I'm not going to cry. I think it's been such a long time waiting to get to the stage that every change is huge for me and for him, and I can't wait till I can actually do it myself, and I'm so excited. It's quite emotional.
He's a pretty serious case, I must say, and he's going to take some handling. What we really need is we need him off-lead, working freely with other dogs without having to worry that he's going to be aggressive at all.
It's a tough case.
Cut it out.
And the best way to handle it is for Neo to go into boot camp with Mark and the team.
So what he's going to need to do is learn his social skills with other dogs. That's the first thing. Once he gets those social skills in the bag, then we can start to broaden his socialisation and generalise it to other dogs.
After 3 weeks, Lynn is back. Reunited with a new Neo.
Look at you, clever boy.
Well, the beauty of it now, Lynn, is he goes out and cruises with other dogs, loves people, and now that he's good with dogs, you can take him out in the world. So this is this is the new Neo.
I never actually thought we'd get to this stage. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful to everybody who's worked so hard with him. Neo, come. It means our whole lives can be changed.
Finn has been in his own boot camp of sorts.
So the next stage for Finn is we'll start to generalise his socialisation and experience of the world, and so we'll get him out and about now.
Jazz is determined to train Finn up as a disability assist dog, and that means being confident in all sorts of scenarios.
Good boy. He's going to have to be going to cafes, he's going to have to be able to go in trains and buses and taxis and all sorts of places that dogs don't usually go, and literally just chill out.
First and foremost, though, Mark and Jazz really need to develop Finn's ability to push and pull.
So this is day 1 on this. So I think for any situation where he's going to be with a disabled person, he's going to need to be able to push an alarm.
Just if you don't pay the touch there.
Doesn't understand what is required of him quite yet because it's very, very new. Good boy. It's just very much the beginning stage of him putting his paw onto it. So he doesn't really pull a rope like I'd like him to.
Right.
As a pup, Finn hasn't developed a strong sense of using his mouth. But if he's to be a disability dog, it's crucial that he does.
Porter loves to play and tug of war. You ready? They're used to playing, they're companions, and they love to play with each other. Kind of a slightly lower energy dog than I thought he'd end up as.
Yeah.
It's all playing into his corner in a sense, because he's got the right temperament, he's got a high level of trainability, but he's really young, so it's very early days. It's a huge call for a little pup.
Good, good. Oh, good. I'll just give you his lead and I'll tie this on here.
Finn was barely 3 months old when he first arrived at the farm.
That's great, he's started to get to it.
Pull it, pull, good boy.
Good.
Now at 6 months, he's getting stronger by the day.
Pull, good. Initially, he wasn't even playing with toys, let alone picking things up.
That was great. You can see once he clicks that boy, he's just going to go for it.
This is the working vest. So that will be the basic, his uniform for working.
Right.
Belinda. Belinda is actually a very exciting part of my life right now.
Belinda runs a disability assist dog service and has her own mobility issues. She was helping Jazz find a family for Finn, but then 2 weeks ago, she suddenly lost her own dog, Tanner.
God, he was a beautiful dog, wasn't he?
It was remarkable.
It just came so randomly because he was only 6.5. It was the thing that meant that I could do life. He was just my constant companion. He was my best friend. He was just everything. When they said that he's gone, I mean, what do I do now? Like, where do I start with doing life now?
To hear someone when they're at a loss, you know, they've just lost their everything, you know, he was her everything.
So Jazz rang me the Wednesday after he died and said, we have Finn. We had talked to her about him previously and she said he's available. Do you know of anyone who's needing an assistance dog? And so I was sort of like, I might be going to need one sometime soon.
When I heard what Tanner could do, I sort of took a step back and thought, oh my goodness, is Finn going to be capable of this?
He would alert me to seizures before I would have a seizure, about half an hour before I'd have a seizure. Things as simple as hanging out the washing with my right side being so weak. And I would drop the pegs and he would just sit there and keep handing them to me until the washing got hung up.
Really hope that Finn can fill those shoes because they're massive shoes to fill.
Here he comes. Hey, Finny. Who's that? Here's your new mum. That could be your new mum.
Hi. What do you think? Hi. Oh, wow.
He likes you.
Oh, are you going to come live with me?
Yeah.
He's got to be one of the most beautiful looking dogs, I think. Something about him, isn't there?
I think you're going to be just lovely.
I think you lost him, Jazz.
I know. Most importantly, he's loved and cared for. It means so much.
He will be loved and he will very much be cared for. You're going to change my life, buddy. You're going to change my life.
I couldn't have asked for anything better than someone like her to be able to have a dog like him. She's got the ability to train him as well as she needs him.
If he can walk alongside me and help with that walking, that would be fantastic. And picking up things is really, really important.
And so Jazz and Belinda start working together to get Finn ready for his new role.
Pull, Finn, pull. Good boy, good.
I think he's amazing. He's only just turned 6 months old.
Most disabled assist dogs wouldn't even be beginning their role till they're a year old, so it's lovely to see that he's already pulling the rope and starting to do those things that she requires in her life. Good boy. Come. You gonna give it to Belinda? You gonna give it? Good boy. He's definitely showing the ability that he can hold and he's gonna be able to retrieve.
Even better is the relationship that's building between Belinda and Finn.
Oh, what's that? That's a loud noise, isn't it? Good boy. I wouldn't have even been thinking about a new dog so soon if this opportunity hadn't come up, but without a disability assist dog, for me, how do I do life? I mean, what do I do? And if this opportunity hadn't come up, I would be looking at a big black hole, really.
Good boy. That's a good boy.
I can go to the supermarket with him. I hadn't done any of that. Since Tanner died, I hadn't been out and done any of those things.
You're a good boy.
After a few weeks, Mark checks in to see how Finn is coming along.
Look at this spoilt boy with all his toys.
One or two to choose from, I can see.
Yeah, no, he likes his ones to chew on. He likes his little kiwi. That's, as you can see, one of the favourites.
And how's he been going out and about?
Really good. I've been taking him to medical appointments with me. Sits through an hour-and-a-half appointment, no problem at all. Just put his blanket down, lies on it, slept right through the thunderstorm and lightning, no problem at all. I know, I was like, go figure.
Wow.
And yeah, no, just lovely. And then didn't get up at all until the hour-and-a-half was over, and no problem. For 6 months old, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
It was a bit of a gamble starting a young pup at this big project, and Jazz really wanted to have a crack at it. Once you get into these situations, you realise how important that Finn is to Belinda. You know, like her life depends on her dog. So it's not just a hit and miss situation.
Everyone was sort of saying, are you sure, And I had faith in him, so I think it's just been beautiful to see him start this role and know that there's hope for him and that he can have a role like this in his life.
He's just very calm,
Highly
very
stressed.
settled.
Highly stressed,
It's almost a bit of a tearjerker, really, seeing it, just emotional, seeing her with him and seeing that love, that bond that she has, you know, that she's building up with him.
So it's ongoing, and it's a big job, but it's a wonderful thing to see what a dog can really do to assist a human in need, and vice versa. You know, what Belinda's doing for him, of course, is giving him a beautiful home and a purpose.
To find out more about adopting your own pound pup, go to tvnz.co.nz/Purina Pound Pups for more details.